You seem to be very fascinated by how research supports a human model, and also tracing thoughts that would lead to conclusions prior to the research being done, which goes to 3,000 years before, or whatever recorded history is. I mean, you've carved yourself out a fascinating place. One side question, creativity, new experiences. Were you born with that, or were your parents that way, or was there a mentor?
No, this is,
this
is innate personality. This is, what we know now, the big discoveries in the 80s were if you take identical twins, separate them at birth, raise them in different families, they're going to be very similar in personality, whereas fraternal twins are not. Because if you only share 50% of your genes, the brain that they make is not at all like a sibling, not at all. Whereas if you're identical twins, the same genes make a very similar brain. So anyway, and parents can see this in their kids, from the time your kid is 2 or 3, there's certain personality traits that are clearly traceable. And for me, my mother says I would come to her and say, I figured it out. Like I figured out how, the water faucet works or whatever. Just, I was always just trying to, I love to take things apart with a little toolkit. And so that's why I thought I was going to go into the natural sciences, because, what kid thinks about the social sciences? You don't even know what they are. But thank God I went into the social sciences, because people are so much more interesting than anything else. And what I've been able to do is I basically get paid to sit around and think about how do systems made of people, how do they go awry, and how can we make them go better?